Imagine trying to negotiate a peace deal by leaving one of the main parties completely out of the conversation. Well, that's exactly what's stirring the pot this week.
Absolutely, Ralph. So Trump had a chat with Putin promising peace for Ukraine, but spoiler alert, he won't involve any U.S. troops or funds. How is that for a shakeup?
Yes, Echo, it's quite a predicament. The historical context here is crucial. For years, the Western alliance worked closely with Ukraine to counter Russian aggression, but Trump's recent approach seems to sidestep that entirely.
Right, and Ukraine isn't too happy about being cut out of what should be their own peace process. It's like planning a surprise party but not inviting the honoree.
Precisely. The essence of the Ukraine strategy under previous U.S. administrations was nothing about Ukraine without Ukraine. Trump, however, appears to be rewriting that playbook.
Do you think this is more about Trump's rapport with Putin? Those two always seem to have some kind of, shall we say, enigmatic understanding.
It's certainly intriguing. Historically, Trump's interactions with Putin have been different compared to other leaders. This phone call suggests a direct shift in diplomacy, favoring Russia's perspective as if both nations are the sole stakeholders here.
And let's not forget the implications for Europe. Many European leaders are pulling their hair out over this unilateral move. After all, a peace deal that doesn't consider European interests sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Indeed, European nations are being urged, perhaps more than ever before, to take charge of their own security. It's a wake-up call for Europe, reminiscent of past geopolitical shifts.
But what does that mean for Ukraine if they're essentially sidelined? Are we looking at a fait accompli where they're left to accept whatever terms Trump and Putin decide? This puts Ukraine in a tight spot.
Unfortunately, yes. From Kyiv's perspective, any peace deal that excludes them is inherently flawed. The stakes are profoundly high as Ukraine continues to assert its sovereignty.
It's fascinating, albeit nerve-wracking, to see if Europe will finally step up to the plate. The Munich Security Conference